You're inside Kday's community show. Your issues, your topics, your community. Now, here are your hosts, Classic One, and Trey.
Yeah, and me, Trey.
It's 93.5 Kday, man. Classic One and a place to be, man. Trey, what's going on?
So with your brother, another Sunday. How you doing?
Hey, man, getting it in, getting ready for football season, you know what I'm saying? Trying to crack that off.
We say that every week.
I'm just ready, though, man. I'm ready. Hey, man, I'm going to let you introduce our guest for today's show. I'm going to let you go in here. It's Lil Lazy Bone's little brother. So I want to throw that over to you and introduce our man in here in the studio.
Yeah, it's a dude that I've been doing some work with, him and his management crew. And we actually, from this past week, we ran into each other in the city of Long Beach, doing some stuff for the kids, community stuff. Introduce yourself, Big Sloan. What's going on?
What's up, man? Big Sloan in the building. You know, represent Long Beach, California, man.
Always.
In the building. You know
Bone Thug, yeah.
My Bone Thug family. What's up with y'all, man?
And my man introduced you as Lazy's Bone little brother. Go ahead and explain to the people that don't know, you know, who you are, what's going about, what you got going on, stuff like that.
Right. Just in case you don't know, I'm Big Sloan. You know what I mean? Out of Long Beach, California. I'm Lazy Bone, little bro. You know what I mean? He basically just, you know, ever since we found out we connected like that, and ever since, like, it was like 10 years ago we found that out, and we was like just chilling. Yeah. You know, man, ever since then we signed to Mo Thugs and all that, and we just been getting it in, world tours and all that.
That's dope. So you were just talking about us before we got on the air about going on tour in Michigan. You're doing some stuff out there. Yeah. You just got off too, or?
Well, actually, we just got off tour doing the Unified tour. That was the Unified tour with all the Bone members, live band, and then we combined that with the what was that? The Resurrection tour. You know what I mean? So
how were those shows? Because the Bones following is stupid. Like
it was. You know what? It was sold out every night though. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like. It's like we got a cult following. It's like Bone Thugs, Mo Thugs. It's a cult following. So, you know, it feel good like a lot of times, you know, people be like, if you ain't got nothing on the radio, then we don't want to book this, we don't want to do that, but it don't matter because we don't have to have nothing on the radio. We just got stuff in the archives that people just come out and want to hear all the time. And that go with all our affiliates too, though.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I want to ask you some more questions about you know, how you say you have a cult following and how that works out. But why don't you introduce your dudes who are in the studio right now too, since they're in here? Just
all right, yeah, I got my manager with me, L Mac, Lamont Mulligan Management, Scully Money. You know what I mean? He in the building. You know what I mean? AKA, you know what I mean? Stop sign chain. You know what it is.
Right. Hey man, let's talk about these. Let's talk about how you said about us. Oh, you gonna get it?
Yeah, man. Let me.
I ain't over there, man. Say what's up, man.
I'm live in effect, man.
He the quiet killer. He must have a pistol on him.
Man, you know, I'm real observant, man. You know, but I'm D-Rado, man, representing Mo Thug Records, Harmony House Entertainment.
What city you from, man?
I'm from Long Beach. I'm from the East Side, man. I'm from where you from, man?
LB show today, man. Hey, let's talk about this cult following that you brought up, because there's a lot of dudes who have hits on the radio, or you know what I mean, like real mainstream what's going on, right? So I would describe you guys as super not mainstream, but you got this big following. You're selling out shows. You're going all over the world. So explain like the route that you're taking with that, and the direction you guys are trying to go with all that.
I could say like the cult following. It's like we do like real music. I mean, no disrespect to nobody else.
Sure.
I mean, but like when we do it, it's like. When he started, it started from the foundation of Eazy-E and NWA. Yeah. It was just always real music and what people go through life. I mean, if you go back then and still now, we didn't talk about how big our chain was and how many girls in the club. How many we was talking about the hood. Everything that happened in the hood, shootouts, hood rats. You know what I mean? Everything ain't bad in the hood either. Like it's good time. They had barbecues, all that type of stuff, and
real stuff.
You know, it's just now that everybody is like, it's just a generation of where like the parents. I mean, you gotta understand, like it come from your parents too. Like the parents now they got like 18-year-old kids and they only 37.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like your kid at the club with you, that ain't heard of. You know what I mean?
How do you connect and bridge that gap in those generations?
What you actually just stay to the streets though. I mean, you still gotta stay in the hoods and stay in the, you know, if you're still in the entertainment industry, you still gotta stay in the club. You still gotta stay out there. Yeah. I'm not saying no, alleviate everything. Don't just alleviate from what they doing, because you gotta implement some of that in your music now in order to stay relevant. Because if we still talking about paper food stamps, people gonna look like what is that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Now we gotta talk about the EBT. Yep. You know what I mean? Everybody understand EBT.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it's a whole different world. So you gotta keep implementing the new stuff, but just keep it 100 from where you started from, though. And if you bridge that together, you keep it like that, you're good.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Grounded.
Yeah, you ain't gotta worry about it.
If you're just tuning in, it's 93.5 Kday Community Show. My man Classic One and me. We in here chopping it up with Big Sloan, and like we said, we in there just talking about the work that he do in the community and the relevancy it is for artists. I mean, you can go out and do your thing, but you still got to have some kind of relevancy in the community,
right.
As far as being there and contribute. We're just talking about how Willie McGinnis threw a softball game,
right,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We got into all this. How long you been signed to Mo Thugs?
Well, 10 years.
10 years, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I always see, I've been telling my man about you, like, we don't hear you on the radio a whole lot or nothing. I'm like, dude, stay busy. They always in a different country or a different state. So they doing something right. I'm going to give a shout out to Scully Management over there. They making it happen.
Scully Money Management.
Hey, they making it happen. They ain't getting enough props. Because they definitely making it happen, man. Right. But like you said, big ups to you, because you think it's important as far as artists staying in the community and keep contributions.
Yeah,
I'm seeing you around Ron Artest. I know you moving. You doing something.
Yeah, I got to do it. I mean, you know, much love to the Lakers family, but you know, I met Ron Artest is a good dude. That was my boy. I met him on tour. See, and the thing was, I was on tour by myself. I went with Bone. I went with nobody. I was by myself. Me and my cousin, Meech. We was on tour. Like, my manager put me on tour before he was hired as Lamont was hired as management. My management, Dave, he owned tour buses, so he put me on the tour right when that Mike Jones song was hot, and Young Jeezy wasn't even what it was, what he is. You know what I mean? He put me on that tour. That's how I met Ron Artest, and we've been cool ever since. You know what I mean? And we just did a song called G'd Up. Me and Ron Artest. It's a video. You know what I mean? All that.
Shout out to Joe Beasy.
It's hot, man. And I got a song with Joe Beasy, which is Joe Smith from the Lakers. You know what I mean? If y'all don't remember, 1995, he was #1 pick. The #1 pick, not just the first round.
No.
He was the #1 pick. You know what I mean?
Coach K.
Right. So I mean, because we were chopping and we did a show the other night, and I was just like, we was at the bar. I'm like, dude, you realize? I mean, do I realize I'm standing next to the #1 pick, though?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I asked him. I said, like, how did you feel?
Yeah.
You're like, what is that like?
Yeah.
And he was just like, man, he was just like, you know, I was calm, but when I walked out there, I couldn't do nothing but smile. Was just like, you know what? I am the man. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
you're
crazy.
the man today. Like, you know what I mean? Right.
Because we all know the story, like, it started quick. That's why I'm respecting y'all, because in order to keep it moving, you got to be doing something right. Because you know, out here, everybody just jump and they riders. If you hot, they see you on TV, they love you.
Right.
And if they don't see you, like, oh, we don't know nothing about you.
Right.
So everybody just ride nowadays instead of just being true to themselves.
But that's true. That's true. But that's really in the big cities, though. That's L.A. and New York and L.A., New York,
Talk
Miami.
about that. Is that because when you're on tour, you see that there's different cities?
Right?
You forgot. This Trey thing, he living in his own world out here.
Right.
He don't know nothing about that. Yeah.
It's like you know. I mean, you know, I'm from California, Long Beach, right by L.A. But that's just L.A., New York, Miami, now Atlanta. You know what I mean? Because everybody, you know, put they cities on. It's like the entertainment is big in those cities now.
Yeah.
So they like, well, you know, if you ain't on the radio, we don't care who you are.
Right.
You know, it's like Mo Thugs, hey, I'll have some stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. We always got something. Yeah. But while y'all only do 30 shows a year, we do 200. Mm-hmm. So you tell me who more relevant than who.
Yeah. That's
who people really want to see? Do they want to see y'all, or do they want to see us? Because when you go to our show, you're not waiting to hear one song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go to these shows, people do they songs that they ain't on the radio. Yeah. People looking like it look like a talent show.
Yeah, they don't
look like a talent show. You're what is that? The homie sound better than that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when they hear your regular song, oh, it's cool. Yeah. But by the time that happens, no cares.
They wait for the next act.
Next act.
It's a wrap.
Like, you know what I mean? But, no knock to them. They getting their bread. Get your bread, man. If that's what it is, get your bread. But, like, we just stay relevant and, like, man, and people always going to come see us. But them big cities, it's all about, like, radio. Yeah. But when you go to the Oklahomas, the Nebraskas, the Idaho, the Phoenix, Arizona, New Mexico, Alaska, Hawaii, like these are states to where Wyoming, like stuff like that, to where people in Michigan and Tennessee, people like
Minnesota,
they want to see real hip hop for real, and like people be like, they have a big artist go, they be like, we only sold 400 tickets. We'd come as Mo Thugs and sell 1,000.
Yeah, and that's crazy too, because you don't really think about that. Like, you would think it'd be the opposite.
Right.
Like, bigger cities are starving for more of like a non-mainstream thing because it's all down their throat all the time. Versus like smaller cities, all they know is the mainstream. So that's dope that it's kind of turned around. We just got to work on getting these big cities right.
Basically, it's just media too, though. It's like if you're not listening to them, it's nobody. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just what it is, though, and it's a money thing too. I mean, people got the money to pay for their advertisement and all what they got to do. It always been like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
it's
always been like that. It's still it's real big business.
Hey man, let's get to the business on the Twitter. I want you guys to shout out your Twitters real quick and push that out there. Facebook, websites, any of that type of stuff. Let's get to that.
Oh yeah,
L Mac jumping.
Look, he's like,
I'm all in the videos. West Coast Puff. Mo Thugs. We in the building. You know how we do it. All on stage.
What's the Twitter?
The Twitter is I'm a Big Sloan. My Twitter is at @SloanBone_MTF.
I was wondering how you was gonna say it.
At Sloan.
I'll be trying to type it in myself. I was like, man, I gotta go to the archives.
And then my Facebook, you can just look me up under Sloan Bone, SLOANBONE. And then we still got MySpace, so you can look me up under MySpace, Mo Murder 21. Or if you don't want to do none of that, just Google me, Sloan Bone. You'll see about 6 million pages of it, however you want to do it. YouTube, Sloan Bone, YouTube, Sloan Bone, however you want to get it in. You'll see just all kind of stuff. So
getting it in.
I'm all in the videos, at @LMac_Mo Thugs, MOTHUGS. You can find me on Facebook, my real name, Lamont Mulligan. LAMONTMULLIGAN. Let's get it in. Yeah. And then mine's is D_Rado, RADO_MTF, and that's Mo Thug Family. I ain't got no Facebook. I heard too many stories about Facebook, so I ain't got on that yet. Or you can Google D-Rado, Mo Thugs, and a lot of stuff will pop up. So
that's what's up. Hit these artists up. Support these local artists, man. You ain't always got to tweet Lil Wayne or Tyrese. You know what I'm saying? So, happy Sunday. Let's get into one of these cuts you brought us, man.
Yeah, I want to do something like it's something I did when I was in the South, right before they had the Hurricane Katrina. You know what I mean? And it's something I wrote about because I was there when the lights, everything was going out, and I flew home like maybe about 2-3 weeks before, like that even kicked off. Yeah. All I know was I woke up one morning, my boss from New Orleans was like, "Hey, we having the hurricane." I'm like, wow, man. For real?
Yeah.
And I didn't really think, I'm like, a hurricane.
You can't script it, real tragedies.
I didn't really trip. I was like, it ain't that big. Like, I wasn't, hurricane.
It was just there. That's it.
And the lights was going out. Like, when I was there, the lights going out just every 30 minutes. I'm like, man, what's going on? Damn. I went home. But, I wrote that about that and the experience I had down there. But it was just saying, like, even when I was out there, they showed me a lot of love, though. That's why, I know real New Orleans cats. That's why when I go to different cities, and I always chill with the real dudes from there, and they always gonna tell you the real. I mean, of course, you always got haters. Yeah. We always got them. You gonna always have them. Right. But I'm talking about when you real with the real hood cats, don't care about rapping or none of that. They gonna tell you the 100% real about the hood and where they at. You know what I mean? So that's why I be like, man, it's like, man, people be like, no what? I'm like, man, y'all ain't never been there to understand what it's about.
You may have been there, but you ain't
been there.
it,
You flew through there. You might have did a half a piece of show and went to the French Quarter. Was like, I'm in New Orleans now, man. You ain't in New Orleans, man. Because all you gotta do is go around the corner of the hood right there. I promise you that. It's right. 2 minutes out of the French Quarter is the neighborhood that you ain't supposed to be in. Where they snatching people out the car at the stop sign. Off the rip.
Going in.
I mean, they